Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now guys, what if I told you that the Washington Commanders are actually in the middle of a potential blockbuster move that could reshape the entire NFC East? Yes, you heard right. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but this one, it's on another level. Rumors are swirling that the Commanders might be in the mix for none other than Tyreek Hill, the explosive wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins. And if that happens, it could be a game changer, not just for Washington but for the entire division. Let's back up a bit and set the scene for you. The Dolphins, after a somewhat disappointing 2024 season, are apparently considering some major moves. They've already parted ways with cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers, which was a shocker for many NFL fans. That trade sent ripples through the league because Ramsey is a high-caliber player, and his departure signaled that Miami might be gearing up for a significant overhaul. Now, the latest buzz is about Tyreek Hill, one of the most electrifying receivers in the league, potentially being on the trading block. And that makes perfect sense when you look at the bigger picture. Hill, who has been a cornerstone of Miami's offense since he arrived, has publicly hinted at his frustration with the Dolphins' direction. After last season, he made some cryptic comments about being ready for change and wanting a more stable situation. Even though he hasn't officially requested a trade, sources close to Hill suggest that his camp has been quietly exploring options, especially during the early stages of free agency. That's a huge red flag for Miami fans, and it's only fueling speculation about his future. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The Dolphins are reportedly considering a significant teardown, a fire sale, if you will, which could include trading away some of their top talent like Hill. They're looking to recoup draft capital and reset their roster, especially with cap space being a concern and the team falling short of expectations in 2024. They're in a tricky spot. Do they keep their star players and risk stagnation, or do they trade them now when their value is highest? And that's exactly where the Washington Commanders come into play. Imagine this, Jayden Daniels, the young quarterback still building his NFL resume, paired with a veteran like Hill who can take the top off defenses. That's a recipe for immediate offensive firepower. With the Commanders' new ownership and a front office eager to make bold moves, this type of trade could be within reach. Plus, Washington has the cap space to make it work, and they're in a division that's wide open right now, with teams like the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys all trying to find their footing. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like a bold rumor, right? Well, in the NFL, bold moves are what define championship teams. Just look at recent history. The Dolphins' recent trades like Ramsey show they're not afraid to shake things up. And if Miami's season starts to slip, if they stumble out of the gate in 2025, then this trade or something very similar could gain serious traction. It's all about timing and seeing the right opportunity. And let's not forget the player himself, Tyreek Hill. He's a game changer. He can turn a game on a dime, and having him on your team instantly makes your offense one of the most dangerous in the league. For Washington, acquiring Hill would mean elevating Jayden Daniels' development, giving him a legitimate one target, and a player capable of commanding double coverage on every snap. That kind of threat opens up lanes for everyone else on the offense. Now, when you think about the coaching staff, it all starts to make sense. Head coach Dan Quinn and offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury would love to work with a player who can stretch the field and create mismatches. Hill's speed and playmaking ability could redefine how Washington's offense operates. It's a perfect fit in many ways. And with the NFC East wide open, the Commanders could leapfrog their rivals much sooner than expected. But let's be real for a moment. This isn't just about the players and the X's and O's. It's about the signal it sends across the NFL. The Commanders are clearly positioning themselves to be serious contenders. They want to be aggressive, to make a statement, and to build a team capable of competing for a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. If they land Hill, it's a massive statement to the division. We're here to win now. And the Dolphins? Well, they're at a crossroads. They might decide that retooling while Hill's value is still sky high makes more sense than holding onto a player who's publicly expressed dissatisfaction. The NFL is a league of bold decisions, and sometimes that means pulling the trigger on a trade that surprises everyone. If Miami's front office gets that itch to shake things up, don't be surprised if Hill ends up in Washington. It would be a blockbuster move, no doubt. Think about the implications. Washington's offense instantly becomes more dynamic, more explosive, and more unpredictable. Jaden Daniels would have a true one to grow with, and the entire team's confidence could get a boost. The NFC East could see a real shakeup, with the Commanders suddenly emerging as a favorite to challenge for the division crown, especially if they make a move like this before the season even begins. Of course, all of this hinges on what Miami decides to do. If they truly are considering a rebuild, they might prioritize draft picks and cap relief over retaining their star receiver. And if that's the case, Washington could swoop in and make a deal that benefits both sides. The Commanders would get a proven playmaker, and Miami could accelerate their rebuild process. It's a win-win scenario if everything lines up right. Now, I want to emphasize that these rumors are just that, rumors. But in the NFL, rumors often turn into reality when the timing is right. This offseason has already shown us how unpredictable things can be, with trades and signings coming out of nowhere. The Commanders, under new leadership and with a clear desire to contend, are certainly a team to watch. They've been building quietly but strategically, and a move for Tyreek Hill would be the perfect crescendo to their offseason efforts. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, keep an eye on this story. If Miami decides to pull the trigger, it could reshape the entire NFC East landscape. Washington could become a much more formidable team overnight, and the division rivals will need to scramble to keep up. Whether this trade happens or not, it's a reminder that the NFL offseason is a season of chess moves, and the Commanders are clearly ready to make their next bold move. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think the Commanders should go all in and try to bring Tyreek Hill to DC? How would that change your expectations for the upcoming season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. We're all in this together, and I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news because this offseason is just heating up, and the best could still be ahead.